Charlie and Brianna to join me from the New York City. I'm gonna ask them to join. Here we go. Charlie invited. Now, Brianna, where do I see you? Charlie is in, I think. Brianna.
I'm muted.
Okay. Yes, Charlie's in.
Go live.
Bri, we're waiting for you on the Instagram.
And connecting.
All right. So now we do earphones for Instagram. And we're going to silence the computer. Okay. Volume off. I can hear you on Instagram. Come.
Hi.
How are we doing?
Hello.
All right. Cool.
Yes, we can hear everybody. Great.
Better headphones.
Charlie, can you pay also attention to how your face is visible in the Facebook, because you're kind of turning away and I'm losing you a bit. Oh yeah, that's better. Okay, great guys. I'm so excited to have you both here. It was not easy to schedule this, but here we are. I would like to for you to introduce yourselves.
Ladies first.
Hi guys, I'm Brianna Rios. And this is?
Hey, I'm Charlie Garcia.
Great. These guys are coming to elSol in March, the spring edition, 10 to 12 of March. We're super excited. We've worked with Charlie before. Brianna, you've also been to elSol, right?
Yes, for like the one in November. Yes.
Yes, and you were part of Ansima?
Yes, that was my first time going. It was with Marco.
Okay, so Brianna, your dance history, how you started. 2 minutes.
2 minutes. Okay, I started when I was 5 years old. So I've been at this for a very long time in the salsa scene. I basically grew up in the salsa scene here in New York. And I obviously went through multiple teams as a kid, right? So I've always been part of a team, which you'll see like that differs from Charlie. And then I got into like some competition world. So I was able to gain world titles with my partner Elvis Collado from also New York. So that was a fun time. That's a fun fact. I became the youngest professional world salsa champion at 18 years old.
Wow.
And then I continued being part of a professional company with Huracan dancers. And we also were competing together. We won our world titles. And then I was able to train with Marco Ferrigno because he asked me to potentially come dance with him like long term in Italy and tour Europe. So that's when I was able to get the chance to go to Warsaw for you.
Okay. And so how did you end up dancing together, you and Charlie?
So I realized that Italy was a big sacrifice. I love my life in New York. And I decided to kind of come back and like do my dance career here, continue that. And so then COVID happened. Charlie and I have been friends since we were kids, like growing up in the salsa scene. And when after COVID, Adolfo was here in New York. And basically that's what made us rekindle like dancing together, because we were dancing on Latin soul dancers here in New York. And then the rest is history. It was like, well, now it's time to be partners again. Because we always joked about it as kids. We tried to do it, but we were literally kids. We were teenagers. And yeah. And then this time was for real.
Okay, we have a lot of comments, a lot of questions. But before, guys, we talk about this, let me ask Charlie, what is his dance story? Charlie, I remember you told me once that you were teaching kids, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was when you worked with Tanya and we got connected in Europe. So, okay, tell us now, how have you become who you are now?
My story is not that interesting. It's just very short. My mom, she just wanted to keep me out of trouble. I grew up in the Bronx, New York, and it's one of the roughest parts in New York. And she was, she didn't want me to be just another Latino guy out there on the corner. So she just kept forcing me to dance, and eventually it got to me. So she's been making me dance since I was about 3 years old, or 2 or 3 years old. But I didn't take it seriously until I was about 16 or 17 for my sister's Sweet 16. And
I was there. I was there. Yeah, that's how we actually connected.
She was there actually. Yeah. That's like one of my weakness, family. Family's super important to me, and my sister, she wanted to be a dancer, and she sucked me into her dream. And I stuck with it, and she doesn't dance anymore. That's the funny part. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna keep dancing. I love dancing. I love my sister. And then my sister, she actually stopped dancing salsa to dance bachata. So that's the first time she betrayed me. And then yeah, and then she completely stopped dancing to work a regular job. So yeah, that's my story.
Hi, Amber. We love you. She's over here on the live.
People are asking, how did you guys meet? This is how you met, right? How old were you when you met?
We were like
maybe 13. Okay, 14.
Mm-hmm.
14.
Okay.
14, 15, around there. 14. Yeah, because we were kids traveling with like different congresses on our kids teams, and we just got to know each other and like, hi.
So wait, so in the States, you have like kids teams that travel to congresses at the age of 14?
Yeah, we used to. We used to have a lot of those youth festivals. We had like Connecticut, Florida, Texas. I don't know if they still do them, but yeah, there were a bunch of youth festivals.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, here's a serious question. How do you guys see the New York mambo scene as it stands now? Is it getting better or worse? Oh my God. I thought we were gonna get to those later, but let's address where it happens. What do you think?
Bachata's taking over. I don't know why, but
no one's taking over.
Nah, I personally I disagree, but it depends like in which way you look at it, because for me, I never saw the scene as a place where you only dance mambo, right? Like you're supposed to dance mambo, you're supposed to dance bachata, you're supposed to dance zouk, and all these things in the night that make it fun. And that's why the youth festivals were actually so fun, because when they would put us in the room, so they wouldn't give us the main room, they put us like in a small room in the basement or something like that. But they had like all types of music playing, and I was having the most fun. And then now, like there's like a salsa room, a bachata room. I think if anything, that's what makes everything a little bit weaker, because if you give someone the option to dance bachata all night, they might want to do that because they might get lucky or whatever. Plus, it's easier,
So you think people don't get lucky in salsa?
Maybe not as lucky,
It's a discussion, all over the world.
Yeah.
Okay. What has been your least favorite dance experience so far? Ben is asking.
Let me see. That's a good question. I guess it's from an artist point of view, just kind of like not having the organizers who are the most experienced as an organizer dealing with artists. That's probably when like the worst case scenario happens, like the bad experiences. Because most of the time I'm just having a great time. Like I love my job. I love what I do. I feel like I don't work, right? Because it's just so fun. But then you have those moments where it's like, how did you not think of this scenario or something like that, where, we're being asked to do so much in so little time with like not enough rest and not enough energy with like food, health wise, like.
Well, that never happens at elSol. That never happens.
True.
Yeah, we've realized that like it's actually the smoothest when the organizer has been a dancer themselves, so they actually get it and they think about the things that like we would go through on a normal basis.
Yeah, rehearsal, show, and so on.
Yeah.
Have you guys danced in any other continents? How is the dancing compared to US, New York?
Yeah, we have danced on other continents. Yeah, that's a funny way to say it. And I would say it's the same. Like everywhere I go, I have a good time. I think a lot of the DJs put in their work and they play great music. The level is really high. Like we went to Australia not too long ago, and I was genuinely surprised. It was my first time judging a competition, and I was like on my toes the whole time. I was like, oh my God, this is incredible. Like the level, if anything, I mean, sorry to my New York friends and family, but like if anything, their level was just as high or not higher than ours,
So you guys have now your own brand, right? Somos Candela. Yeah, your own your own school or your own brand. Because are you renting space or do you have your own space now?
We're renting space and we're trying to get our own space as well. But yes, we have a brand, Somos Candela NYC. How
do you feel you're different? What's your characteristics? What is your brand all about?
Everything.
I would say, I would say everything. But as a fundamental, like as a core, We focus on the social dancing aspect because I think that if anything, that's what is lacking at the moment. There's a lot of like difficult turn patterns and difficult shines, but there's not a lot of talk about connection and action and reaction and things like that. So
connection, yes, I was talking to Eddie yesterday about this, just connection.
Yeah. So that's
ahead.
well, that's our like core focus right now. Like we revolve everything around that, and then the way we provide for like advanced dancers is we have our performance teams. So you can join our performance teams if you're looking for that, difficulty. But yeah, we focus on the social dancing.
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
Yeah, for us, it's like, why is it that a lot of other partner dances, the very first thing that you have to master is just how to connect, right? Like body communication and all that, body language and signals and all that stuff. It's like where everything comes from in a partner dance. But a lot of times when you just hop into a salsa class for some reason, it's like, oh, you know your footwork? Okay, now do it in front of each other and hold hands. And we're going to take it from here. And it's like, it doesn't really go much farther than that. And so everything becomes a choreographed kind of combination instead of actual, like Charlie said, action and reaction, where that is social dancing. So that's what we stress.
Yes, we're very excited about those classes at elSol. Because we need that. So guys, tell me, what kind of difficulties do you struggle with in your partnership? What are the easy things for you? What are the hard things?
I would say everything is really easy, unfortunately, because
Brianna is laughing.
Well, unfortunately,
no, because he's right. Like, I didn't want to say it like that, but he did.
Yeah, and I say unfortunately only because we don't get to work, or we don't have to work that hard on certain things, and so then we struggle a little bit with time management. Yeah, because we don't like set enough time to work on certain things, because we just both don't struggle that much. Brianna's like one of the most talented dancers I've ever worked with, and the whole world's gonna see that soon. And then I don't want to toot my own horn, so if she thinks I'm talented, I'll let her say that. But but yeah, like we don't really struggle. I think our biggest struggle, if anything, is stability, because we're working or we're trying to learn how to be better business men and women, right? And we're very new in that aspect. So the dancing part is the easiest part, but the business part is definitely the hardest part.
So what's hard?
What's hard about the business?
You mean how to have like consistent income, or how to keep students?
Yeah, for sure.
All of the above.
Yeah. I'm gonna say that that's hard for me because I'm not really a people's person. I don't communicate well. I'm like very shy. It doesn't seem that way, but I am. Where Brianna actually excels in that, so that's really why I gravitated towards her as well, because I'm like, okay, everything I suck at, she's great at, and then whatever she's great at, I'm great at too. So then it's like a superpower, that we dance together and teach together. But yeah, that's the sales, the marketing, the video editing, the online part, everything is like really hard especially when you just don't even know where to start,
Well, it looks like from when I watched just your footage and so on, it looks like you're booming. It looks creative, interesting.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So yeah, I hope that also brings you money.
Almost, thank you.
We've also realized that it's definitely a different time when we were just focusing on ourselves, but then we decided to have our brand and have teams, right? So putting on a director's cap definitely takes up a lot of your time and energy. And then we've realized like, oh, we haven't rehearsed in the last month, our choreography, right? Whether we have a show or not, we realize like, oh, we have to get into the studio and continue on us, right? But we're just usually so focused on everyone else that we have now, that's becoming one of our like time management difficulties. So we're working on it.
Totally understand. Okay, before we answer all these questions, I wanted for Brianna to say what's for her easy or difficult in the relationship, and then if she could praise Charlie from her perspective, like he did to her.
Definitely easy to praise Charlie. Super creative, right? Choreography processes was probably the one thing that I hadn't had a dance partner in like years, right? Pretty much after dancing with Elvis, I went solo, and I just wasn't looking for a partner. but Charlie was always harassing me a little bit, so that's how we came to this. So, but it was very fun, and that was one of the things that I always was weary of having a dance partner. Is like, okay, is choreography actually going to be 50-50? Are you going to listen to me? Am I going to listen to you? Vice versa. How are we going to mesh? And so fortunately, it became the easiest thing. Like, it really wasn't difficult when it started becoming about our choreographies. We call them our babies.
Mhm.
And yeah, we just meshed really well together. And Charlie's super creative and super fast. Like, he'll just think of ideas really, really fast. And yeah, he lets me put in my input, and whether we agree or not, we always come to an agreement eventually.
That's
Obviously.
nice. I hope that the times of the old times of just guys treating women as an executor, as an assistant, I hope they are long gone.
Oh,
Long gone.
here they are
Long
long
gone.
gone for sure. Yeah.
Okay, that's good. That's good. We need to bring some of this to Europe as well.
Yeah, I tell everyone at the end of the day, the woman is always better than us. So they're the show, and we're just there, looking pretty, doing the turns, doing the tricks. But they're doing it in heels.
Instead of guys, accept it, gentlemen.
They know better, and I mean, you should see, like, I read the room. Like, as soon as Brianna gets to speak, all the even the leaders, actually, I'm not even gonna say only the followers, like the whole class, they just smile. They're like, "Oh my God, Charlie, why didn't you say that?" I'm just like, because Brianna's here, you know what I mean? Like, that's what she's here for, and I always give her that pedestal. And yes, leaders all around the world, Europe, wherever the hell you are, make sure you do that, right? Put your partners on that pedestal.
When we spoke last time in Italy at Zeno Latino, I had a feeling that Brianna was more excited about traveling internationally than you were.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Okay, so you prefer the local work, or how do you guys?
Yeah. I would say not that I prefer the local work, but it's just much easier for me to just go teach a class, in my city, go to a social in my city, perform in my city, than it is to like get on a plane, go somewhere else, 8 hours away, 15 hours away. I don't know how many hours was Australia away, but that was like, I was like, wow.
That was
probably the last time. Yeah, I was like, wow, probably the last time ever. But we actually love the scene, so
Yeah, we love this so much that I actually was like, yes, I can't wait to come back. You can send me back next week, and I'll do this trip.
Okay, let me now read the comments and questions, because I've neglected our audience. Just didn't want to change the subject. Love the positivity with Charlie and Bree. Smiles, happiness, joy is key. Guys, if you weren't dancers, what would you do instead?
Oh, I would for sure be working with animals in some type of way. Like, if I could be a veterinarian, or I don't know. I always joke around that my dream job is just to be a dog walker. Yeah. What about you, Charlie?
That's a tough question because, like Brie mentioned earlier, my brain's always running. The creativity is always there. I do so many things. I play video games for a living. I'd be a rapper part-time,
I knew you were gonna say that. I was waiting for that answer.
Yeah. I would try to box. I'd probably get beat up, but I'd try to box. I would try everything.
Can you rap for us?
I feel like not right now.
Yes, you can.
Come on, let's something about elSol.
You know what? I wish, Charlie, I like your message. Thank you so much. I can't right now. I can't. But usually I am good on the spot. I'm not gonna lie. Usually I am good on the spot, but right now I'm just not good on the spot.
Two bars. That's all we need.
Honestly, I can't. I think I need like coffee. I need like 2 cups of coffee. I need like.
Okay, Charlie, can you prepare yourself mentally, and can you rap for us at elSol during the Saturday shows? The MC will pull you out, and you just do a little.
We'll give him a couple shots.
Yeah, I won't make any promises, but yeah, I'll try.
We'd love that. Farid is gonna be there to MC. So
Anya, this is what you have me for. Like, anything that Charlie's like about, I've always got the confidence to convince him to do it.
Okay, great. I'll speak to Brianna then. I need your number, Brie. Yeah. Are you guys planning to compete in a pro dance competition? Ronald is asking.
Hey, Ronald, what's up, man? Good to hear from you. Yeah, so I would say yes and no, because again, time. We just need time to be able to dedicate to that. If we do compete, we want to compete to win. not just to have fun. So we would want to take that very seriously. But I'm not against it. Like honestly, I don't know what happened from last year to this year, but this year I feel like I want to do everything while I can. You know, like I definitely want to work as hard as I can and do everything that I can. So if I could win a competition before I retire, I would love to do that for sure.
And Brie, you?
It's funny because when we first partnered up, Charlie mentioned this, and I actually was like, no, I've done so many already. I'm done. Like, I'm over it. But every time you have like that little taste of competition, if you're a real competitor, you love it, and it just never gets old, honestly. So you always just get sucked back into it. But yeah, I would definitely do it because I feel like we're so comfortable with each other, and you know that's something that we could achieve if we wanted it. But it's a decision that we have to be very clear about, and you know, put the year that is leading up to that all for that. Because to me, as a competitor, I know that that's the work that it takes and the focus that it takes. So your brain really can't be scattered everywhere and just, you know, splitting your energy for this is what I have left for competition. Like you have to be all in and really want it, and then just like obsess over it basically for it to be the best outcome you can possibly have.
Charlie, are you going to be in any more movies? Mi Gente Productions is asking.
I would say I would hope so. I'm not
hiring us then.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to it. I would again, timing, right? If I had a little bit more time, I would definitely be auditioning. It wasn't something that I was passionate about, but I do like the idea of it, you know, being on the big screen and getting to choreograph for movies, and being a dancer in movies. Yeah, for sure.
Brie gives the intro of the new team members now. I don't understand this. And maybe it's just an observation. Introduction for the new team?
Oh, I think, was that from Javi or something? From one of our members?
This was from Javi. Yeah. Javi.
So for our members, we don't have, we've had one audition when we first started and that was it. And so all of our new members that have come recently are just because they're actually just interested, and our doors are always welcomed for anyone watching. If you guys want to be part of us, you don't have to wait for an audition. We have the ball rolling, and if you want to come, you come join us. So every time there's someone new in the room, at first, again, we're just like, you know, learning as we go. At first, we were really bad at introducing new people. We would just let them come in, and our members would be like, who is that person in the room? So now we're just getting better at whoever's new, they get a formal introduction, everybody meets them, and we're all on the same page.
Some management experience.
Exactly.
Yeah. Ben, I just want to say the way you guys danced Mambo de la Luz piece with soul dancers was amazing. I rewatched that piece just to see how you do it. Hope to see you guys in Orlando soon.
Thanks.
Thank you so much. Fun fact. Go ahead. Go for it.
Fun fact. That was such a messy routine for us because it was a debut. We didn't even have that much time to dance it. I was actually coming back from the World Salsa Summit that weekend. I was like, I need to do this debut. I'm going to come back early so I can do it. But of course, again, that's putting so much on your plate that debut felt crazy, but it also felt really fun too. Because it was actually our first time dancing together since we were like 16, you know?
Yeah, and it was so last minute too. That number was so last minute. We like learned it the week of. I guess if anyone knows Adolfo's work ethics, then you understand that. And also jokingly, I always tell Adolfo that was like probably the first time it actually hit me that I was dancing next to Adolfo Necochea. Like it was a very emotional show. But I didn't watch the video because I felt like we were so sloppy and everything. But thank you so much for your compliment.
Oh, how was working with Adolfo, by the way?
A lot of work, a lot of cardio. It was cool. It was really cool to be part of the team when we first started. It was like all the biggest names in New York, right? Like we were all our individual selves coming together in one room under the Latin Soul name. And so that was for me, I think that was the best part about it. That was the most, like eye-opening experience. Like, wow, look at all of us here working together. The vibes were great, all that stuff. And, going on stage with each other and having comments like this, where people say, oh, I had to go back and watch you two dance together. That was inspiring. And yeah, it was just definitely fast paced. That was cool too. Like how many choreographies can you learn in like a week? Seriously, like the first month of being part of Latin Soul, we were already 7 choreographies in just as training, which was like, what? Why? But
yeah,
there's a method to everyone's madness. So
yeah. I would say for me, from my perspective, I kind of got my salsa diploma from the YouTube University, and Adolfo was like one of the the biggest inspirations for me when I was coming up. Like Brianna could tell you, we were probably like 14, 15 trying to choreograph a routine, and I was basing my blueprint was one of Adolfo's routine that I saw him do. If I'm not mistaken, it was at your event in like 2011 or something like that. And I was like, damn, that has to be the best salsa routine I've ever seen. It has connection. It has a partner work. Because a lot of the good artists in New York, they just really do a lot of shines. So it was like the first time I was seeing that high level of partner work. It was like, for me, it was awesome. So I think that if I could have done it when I was younger, I totally would have. Like I would have, done the whole Latin Soul dancer thing. But I think, unfortunately, it's like so late in my life that I couldn't dedicate more time to it. But it was an experience I always wanted as a kid. So I'm glad that I got to live it at some point,
You're saying it's so late in your life. How old are you, if we may ask?
I'm turning 29 in like 30 days.
Oh my God. Come on.
Yeah, but I mean, like there's a lot of dedication to be on Latin Soul Dancers. Like we would be in the studio like 12 hours, and I can't afford that, So
it's crazy. You can't really do much more.
Yeah.
What will you focus on at the festival? I guess Alba means elSol Festival. What's your plan for us?
I mean, I don't have a plan. I just.
What's our plan, Anya? What do you want us to focus on?
Well, give your best. Give us the recipe for the cake, not just the cake. Give us connection, technique, anything that will make people better, not just right here, right now, but for the next 6 months before they see you again.
That sounds like the kind of class I like to teach.
Yeah. Those are the kind of things we're always working on. The tools that you keep in your toolbox forever, not just the cake that you're going to eat in 2 seconds and then it's gone.
Yeah, I like that metaphor very much. Charlie said he was going to take the pest control job, $160K.
Yeah, so I have a love-hate relationship with New York City. For anyone who dreams to move here, it might be the best, prettiest city on the movies, but it is so filthy, like filthy. Yeah, so we joke around about that all the time. I see a rat, like they're basically my neighbors at this point. And yeah, roaches, they pop out of nowhere. Like it's just, I can't with, the infestation. So yeah, me and Javi, we joke about taking that job.
Okay. Let's see if we have more questions.
Oh, Eddie, so much love for you too. We can't wait to see you in elSol.
Fireography.
Wow, Bree is 22 and Charlie is 23. Ronald is commenting.
Everyone who's known us since we were young, they just see us at that age. Like we don't grow past that.
Well, that's a good thing. But, musicality and partner work class was on point in New York City. Someone is okay. Let's talk about now being creative, guys. How many routines do you produce in a year?
We produced 2 in our first year. Not counting the ones that we produced for our teams.
Okay.
I would say in total, I would say in total too many, because there's choreographies that we don't use. Like for example, I came across already 2 videos of choreographies that we have together that we just never did and never used, never tried. And then we have the choreographies we do use, and then we have the choreographies that we do with our teams. And then we get hired for boot camps along the year. So I mean, we're creating like a lot of stuff. We just don't use them enough.
How do you get creative? Do you need somehow to take care of your creative space, or does it just come like this out of your sleeve?
Comes out of the sleeve.
Yeah. It's just
it's usually
it's just
like that,
oozing
and
out of
then,
me.
yeah, and then moments of like, you know, watching any type of video, like any genre or whatever. Those are the moments that are like the most inspiring, because you're like, oh, my creativeness can go this way now, you know. So it's not just like, what kind of turn pattern can I do in this moment?
Yeah, I would also say keep an open mind if like you're struggling with creativity, because I think one of the things that I've had going for me since forever is I've been open to every type of style and every type of movement, and I'm not scared to express myself in different kind of ways. And so it's so easy to be creative when you're just open to, you know, everything. A lot of people are like, oh, I only want to dance this one way. I only want to dance New York style, or I only want to dance bachata, and that only is going to limit your salsa, and it's only going to limit your bachata. You need to learn more movement. You need to learn more techniques, you know, from all types of dance forms, and you just salsify it or you bachatafy it, you know, or you Spotify it.
Definitely, I support also versatility. I dance a lot of kizomba now, and also all the Afro beats and so on, and that's also like makes you move differently for salsa as well.
Yeah, so, I mean, everything is like African based too, right? So you know, that's only going to help you.
Exactly. So we have a question from Ben. What makes an instructor good? Is it having patience, being able to explain clearly?
I would say that, yeah, I would say that's subjective though, because it depends on the student, right? So for me, what would make an instructor good is someone who knows how to, you know, keep me as me and make me better, not change me. And I only ever encountered one person like that, and his name is Benito Garcia, where every single time I was in that room and I was kind of putting myself down, like, oh, my lines are not that good, I'm not that flexible, he'd always slap me up, you know, at my head and be like, what are you talking about? You're the best salsa dancer I've ever seen in my life. Just do what you do and improve it. And he would always work on the quality of what I was already good at, and not try to, like, you know, change me. And I think that that's super, super important for me as a student. But yes, all of us are different, and we all have different needs.
Guys, I'm hearing echo. Is one of your laptops like sound?
My phone doesn't go completely silent.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, that's fine. We'll survive it. Okay. Yeah, that's the thing with
I tried to put it as low as possible. It's not working.
It's okay. How do you choose an outfit for your choreographies?
Brianna.
Okay.
Inspiration also, just, you know, Charlie kind of has an idea of like the whenever we're like choreographing, he'll see it from the very beginning. He's like, oh, I see this kind of vibe, right? And so then I just start thinking, and like I start searching whatever, but I definitely don't try to just like copy and paste whatever's out there that I see. It has to be along the lines, but then it has to be ours. So, and the process is I make mine first, and then we make something that matches for Charlie.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah. I hate costumes.
Sorry, the lady.
Salsa costumes. Yeah. I don't like salsa. I mean, okay, maybe I said that wrong. I don't like to wear salsa costumes. I think, like, you know, with my background, it's just always so funny. Like, so when I started performing, I was performing in my parents' nightclub, and you know, it was like just a lot of like people from the Bronx, for lack of a better word, and close-minded people, you know, from the older generation. So if I would go in some tight pants and, you know, shiny shirt, they would just laugh at me and call me Peter Pan. So you know, that's like the joke here in the Bronx, like, you know, we don't like to wear the Peter Pan outfits. So I've always actually preferred to just be kind of like in a low V-neck and a blazer. But like along my career, I got to partner up with, like, you know, really professional dancers, and they were really big on costumes. But I'm gonna say I didn't like wearing costumes until like Dancing with Brianna, because so far she has put me in costumes that, like, I'm like, okay, I look manly still, you know. So it's like I could rock that.
Yeah, you're right. Male outfits are a challenge in salsa. It's either too ballroom or it's too classy. Like
it's like, yeah, it's just weird.
Yeah. So since you started to be in the international community and travel, how has your level of energy changed from at the beginning until now? How have you grown? How have you changed? Do you still social dance, or how much you social dance? How much energy goes into teaching? Yeah.
I would say I social dance more now because so yeah, I think I was struggling a lot with what it is to be good in the salsa scene as I started getting exposed to more artists. So I think I really, because as a, when I started, it was all about the social dancing. That's like all my teachers were teaching me. And I was like really good at it. And then at some point I was just like not, because I was worried about the hardest turn patterns and the hardest shines. But I think like since partnering with Brianna, especially because it was after COVID. So I had like everything was gone for 2 years, like I had no bad habits. I had no desire to be I want all the fancy moves. So I was actually finding myself again after COVID. So I guess COVID was a blessing in disguise. Or for me at least, I got to find myself through it. And so like, I definitely have that love for social dancing again. And I'm like, I want to get back to being that person that always leaves a smile on their partner's face, not so much a perplexed look. Cause I think I used to like watch the videos and I used to see like, oh man, all the girls look confused and they look like they're having fun because they don't know what this guy's leading. And then I'm just like, okay, I don't want to be that guy. I want to be the guy that has the girl smiling the whole time. So for me, it helped my social dancing over the years.
Okay. Eddie said yesterday, very good thing. I'm going to quote it. As a leader, create an experience on the dance floor for the follower and for yourself.
Yeah, that's my
really
goal.
Nice. That's a nice way of saying it. How about you, Brianna?
I'm opposite of Charlie.
Hi, Eddie. Eddie is watching us.
Eddie.
You're opposite of Charlie?
So, like I said, I grew up social dancing, right? Like literally 5 years old, I was already out in socials, and I was part of an adult team, and I was doing shows. So I would literally be at socials with my parents, and my parents were with me till like I was 21, basically everywhere. The most supportive parents ever. So I've been doing this for so long, and so now like social dancing actually, for some reason, it gives me anxiety sometimes. I'm not gonna lie. I always feel like I'm gonna get hurt. Like if it's too packed or I don't feel like my partner is providing that experience of like keeping me safe, then I don't enjoy it. So I am very picky with like, I love to do it when it's done correctly, but then those times that are not really the best, they always kind of like leave me like, this is why I don't like to come downstairs and social dance all the time.
This is the different position of a follower and a leader, right? Because we don't really choose the lead.
Exactly.
A guy can adapt to the follower.
And I'm not the type who wants to reject a dance. Whatever your level is, I'm not going to be biased against a beginner or anything like that. If anything, I do enjoy the beginner dances because they're the ones who take it easy and stuff. But for some reason, it just depends. The levels are always, it's always a roller coaster, right? You can be an advanced dancer who's going to give me a great experience. Or you can be an advanced dancer who wants to show off or impress me and try things that are just crazy that don't make sense right off the bat. And yeah, it's just like, it's a hit or miss. So that kind of hit or miss feeling is not my best, it's not my cup of tea because I just want a guaranteed good dance.
I understand. And especially as a performer, and I think you are exposed to the dancers who want to try their moves with the top dancers. So I'm just going to try on her everything I can, right? So
yeah. And I end up in weird positions like this. And I'm like, what is this?
I call them kung fu hands.
Yeah. And I think but that's another thing that we're always stressing. You can know these advanced turn patterns, and there's always going to be a right way to lead them, but at the end of the day, you have to know who you're dancing with, right? So it's, and even if it, just being aware of the scenario, because if I had a really great experience with someone 2 seconds ago, and you saw me having the best time of my life, and now you ask me to dance, you think you're going to have the best time of your life and give me the same thing, but it's not. You're a whole new person, right? So now we have to like come back to square one, learn each other, and then continue the dance. So a lot of times people have expectations as well when they ask me to dance with them. It's like, oh, she's going to dance with me the same way she was dancing with that person. And it's like, no, I'm not, because you're not that person. I'm going to dance with you the way we're going to have this new experience.
So true. Let me read the comments. We have action here. Chris is asking, do you guys pay attention to the lyrics of the song when creating a routine?
Moments, certain moments. You can ask me what the song's about, and I probably will have no idea. We speak Spanish, but I'm the worst at listening to the whole message of a song. I just hear rhythms, and when I hear one moment where like a word makes sense, like it's more pronounced, basically, then I'm like, oh, okay, we should match that word, But don't ask me what the song is about because I won't know.
Yeah, as far as like being lyrical, it depends. Like we haven't worked on a number, like a storytelling number just yet. But if like the song was, like if the lyrics were telling a story, we would definitely try to match it. But as of right now, we've used the lyrics like if the the pitch is like then we'll do something like or yeah, like in that way. But we haven't choreographed to like that lyrics of a song. If that was.
Do you guys like salsa romantica?
Yeah, that's in our plans. That's definitely in our, because we have the numbers that we want to do kind of on a blueprint. We just haven't tackled it in order yet, but we definitely want to do like salsa. We want to do like a cabaret. We want to do a romantica. We want to do a bachata. We want to do a cha-cha.
Yes,
but
I want to see a show to salsa romantica. I want to see something that's slower and beautiful.
Yeah, that would be our storytelling.
I like.
Yeah.
All women love it.
The only reason we haven't done it yet is because of me, really. As I don't feel that good just yet, but it's in our plans for sure. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm looking forward to it. Eddie is saying that he loves dancing with Brianna, and he's got so many reference of Charlie steps into his routines. Love your creativity and versatility. Ronald saying social dancing with Brianna, it feels like in a Broadway. It's super fun.
Yeah, Ronald, I mean, if he ever goes to elSol, he's really good. He's a really good social dancer, and especially when it's salsa romantica, like he's good.
Oh, I love that. Well, you should come.
Ronald gives that Broadway experience, and that's why I just adapt to it.
Yeah.
Yes, Somos Candela are at elSol this year, and twice in March, 10 to 12 of March, all in one venue in Warsaw, and then in November in Katowice, 9 to 12 of November. So twice. Okay, yeah, I've addressed all the questions. Okay, what would you advise to your 19-year-old self from today's perspective?
Keep going. That's really it. I think we always have those like moments of, is this the right path? Is it gonna work? All those questions. And I think we still have those questions. Like those, they never go away. You're always wondering, like, is this still gonna go on and forever and like work? But yeah, just keep going and enjoy the process. That's, for me, that's been the beneficial part of it, is just like literally just enjoying the journey. And for me, the journey is a destination, so called, because I am the worst at trying to goal set and say, I want to be here in 5 years and 10 years. For some reason, I'm just not that type of person. I really go with the flow, and things come my way, and then they just, take me on a different path, or this way or that way. And I just enjoy it. Just make sure everything is just done to the best that I can do it.
And you, Charlie?
I would say open your mind. That's like the theme for me. I feel like I had so many opportunities at 19, but I was so like, I'm going to be one of the best salsa dancers in the world, that I would just turn them away. And I think that there's room for everything. You can be one of the best salsa dancers. You could be a choreographer for movies. You could be auditioning. You could do everything. Open your mind. The sky's the limit. Just go. Go for it.
And where do you see yourself in 5-10 years? I'm sorry, Brianna, you just said you don't really plan ahead, but maybe you have a vision, a dream.
Charlie, you take this question.
I definitely don't plan ahead. Actually, the one who plans is Brianna. Between the two of us, like I'm the one that I'm very spontaneous. I can't say I see myself anywhere in 5 years, because you never know tomorrow, right? So I live in the moment. That's just the way I live my life. But one thing that I find myself chasing is stability, right? Like I would love to have just a steady life, steady source of income, steady routine, stuff like that. But as far as like where I'm gonna be in 5 years, I can never tell. So I could be in Australia for all I know.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. You felt it.
Yeah, I could be living a completely different life than what I planned today. So I just don't plan it.
I plan for the week. That's as far as I get. I plan for the week, maybe the month. and then yeah, every time we have an experience, it opens a new door in a sense. It opens our minds, and it's been cool because this year and it's crazy that it's our first year dancing together. But we had so many different types of opportunities. We've gotten to travel international and do the salsa congresses, and then we were also, given the opportunity to be doing commercial work, like being on TV for Macy's 4th of July, our Independence Day over here, our Good Morning talk shows, and a TV show. So all those things really open our minds because they're brand new experiences, and it's like, wow, this is something that we enjoyed it, or we didn't enjoy parts of it. It's just something new for us to experience. And going to Australia, we were given another opportunity, like, hey, come live over here and be the mambo couple that we don't have in Brisbane. So even that was an eye-opener, like we could actually move to Australia if we wanted to. So all of these things are just, I see it as like very fortunate to be able to realize that we have so many options, and it's really up to us as to where do we want to take all of this. But yeah, we never know where 5 years is going to be.
Eddie James says, "Love your energy, guys. It's so contagious."
Thank you.
Bree wants to hang out with koalas in Australia.
Yep.
Yeah.
Animals. Take me anywhere with animals.
So, guys, how do you handle stage fright? How do you feel, and what's your routine? How do you, deal with it?
I don't have stage fright whatsoever.
Right. I was gonna say I struggled with it, but not because of me. It was, like when you're working with other people, you're not just dependent on your emotions; you're dependent on theirs too. And I would say Bree's confidence is like very contagious. Like I'm very secure every time I'm about to go on stage.
Mm-hmm.
So so far I haven't felt stage fright. Maybe when we do our bachata, I'll be like, we say shitting bricks in New York. I would definitely be like, pissing my pants backstage when we were about to debut a bachata routine or a romantica routine. But I'm pretty sure Bree wouldn't be, so
nope.
I'd probably find that security again.
Oh my God, I just had a question in my head and I forgot it. I'm losing my focus. What's your favorite spot except for Australia? Do you have a favorite spot in Europe?
In Europe?
Just don't say Italy.
No, I would. I was like, I love Italy.
We both left Italy, if that makes sense. If that helps.
I love Italy. I love Italians. I love Italian food. Actually, Italian is my favorite food. You didn't ask, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But I didn't feel quite at home in Italy. I'd say, like, I feel like the socials there are a little bit different than what I'm used to. It's not like a salsa dura room. It's like a lot of timba, a lot of mix. Yeah, so I definitely wouldn't say Italy. I like Italy for other reasons. In Europe, I would probably say the most fun I've had so far would be elSol, and that's like completely not biased. But I didn't even stay in the salsa room. I was so I'm complaining about the Thema room in Italy, but I was in the Cuban room at elSol, like one whole night. I was like, damn, this is so fun. Like you had like the best artists in that room.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't even want to be in the salsa room. It was so funny.
It was actually the case this year too. It was the Cuban room was crazy. It was also the best Cuban floor in years.
Yeah.
So we do both. And you, Brianna? Favorite places?
I guess this is why I'm the one who wants to travel, because places in Europe, I had a taste of it when I was training with Marco and dancing with Anzima, but we actually had so many gigs lined up that I realized, like, oh, the luxury of traveling is not really a luxury, because we would hop around from place to place and we'd only be there for like one night. you know. So like even when I went to elSol with Antima, we were literally there only one night. I don't even remember social dancing. Like I probably had 3 dances and that was it. So I haven't really been able to experience much of Europe in that sense of like when we go to a festival for me to be able to say which one's my favorite. Yeah, Europe is not really like that known to me. I basically only have like Italy under my belt.
Okay, well, we need to change that.
Yes.
Poland.
Poland is the best. I mean, you know, when I developed the festival so big, I was like, how on earth in the middle of Central Eastern Europe, you know, we have one of the best festivals in the world. It's crazy. It should be, you know, the New York or I don't know, the Caribbean. But yeah, everybody comes here. I guess it just takes the good venue and company.
Yeah, that's what I always say. It's like, for me, the place isn't what makes it. It's always who's around, like who you're experiencing with. Because I can have the same group of people in New York and the same group of people go to Poland, and I probably won't be able to know which one was my favorite because the experience felt equally as great because of the people.
Is there any way, guys, you can inspire, advise, support the newcomers into the salsa community? How should they work on themselves? How to get into the scene? Anything that you feel you've learned and you can share?
As an artist or like a social dancer? As an artist?
Oh, well, you can say both. It's both valuable.
Yeah. I would say the primary focus of anyone new should be to study. I think that that's the way they do it in every other art form. And if we want to help our community and our industry, we need to encourage people to want to study more. And I feel like that's something that we struggle with because a lot of people want to keep their students to themselves. A lot of people want to limit their students. Like, you shouldn't dance, you know, other ways. You shouldn't know on one. You shouldn't know on two. And I completely disagree. If you dance salsa, you should know how to dance every type of salsa. So, you know, get your salsa cubana, get your salsa caleña, get your New York, your Puerto, whatever it is. Learn salsa, learn the history, and the same with the music. Know what you're dancing to. I think a lot of people just dance routines, choreography, like Brianna said before. They don't study enough. So I would definitely say study. You could chase the dream of being an artist. You can perform at a lot of festivals, but that's not enough. You know, that's just, I would say that's the luxury part of it, the lavish part of it. But the core of it is the study. The more you know, the more you have to give, right? And the more you can create. So keep studying, and study more than just the dance, because the dance is like super important, but it's just 50%. You have to be, you know, a great person. You have to be a great business person as well. So there's so many other aspects to being a successful artist in the industry. But don't get discouraged, right? Just keep studying. You could do the YouTube University. I did it. You know, some people try to shame it, but look, you know, I got to where I got to. So definitely don't shy away from YouTube, and ask these questions. Ask for more than just dance. Ask for more than just history, but, you know, study.
Yeah, I think piggybacking off of the studying is like, do enough studying that you can make your own brand, like your own self, because also copycatting is not gonna make it. That's one thing that we've noticed. Like,
but how do you do that? Because that's, I don't know if people understand how can you be you if someone doesn't know how to be creative.
Well, for me, it's not necessarily about being creative right off the bat, right? When you understand your body, you understand your style, right? So for me, I was like, I've always tried to be versatile enough and take lessons from everyone, even if I don't agree with 70% of what they said at some point. You know, 30% was still something that was gonna impact me and I can keep forever. And also, like, as a student, be a good student. Know what type of questions to ask. Know what types of instructors you're going to, right? Sometimes we do get caught up in the choreography instructors. So if your questions aren't being answered, like you don't know the whys behind why we're doing something, you should probably go to a different instructor.
Yeah.
And even if you are going to the instructor and you don't want the why, it's because, okay, no, I just want to sweat today and I want my body to make whatever their choreography is doing, make it work for my body, right? So there's always a different type of experience in whichever class you are in, but that's, as you being a good student, you have to know yourself well enough and know what you're going to get out of each experience to then create more for yourself, right? So the more comfortable you are with yourself, then the more comfortable everyone else will be with you eventually, right? So you're just creating, but it takes time. So another thing is, it doesn't happen overnight, which is why the copycats don't work, because that is overnight success, basically, if it even gets to success.
To piggyback on Bree, because for me, what it sounds like when, with this discussion of creativity, this is not to discourage anyone, but that's pretty much a talent, right? So some people are going to be born creative, and some of us are going to be born not as creative, right? I think that what I hear is authenticity. I think that Bree is promoting authenticity, and I think that is important, because a lot of newcomers, the first thing they do is, oh, I love Adolfo. Let me copy his faces. Let me copy his costumes. Let me copy his routine. And that's where you look like you lack creativity, but not really, because again, no matter what people or anyone tries to claim, all of it has been done before, right? But there are artists out there that are just a little bit more creative. And, I think about Leon Rose, and I think about Terry and Cecile, right? But another thing that they have going for them, and it's what I've been saying throughout the interview, is they have open minds. They don't just do one singular type of routine, one singular style. And so you get to see a lot more of the creativity, because they're not scared to express themselves. But I think that the strong point of artists like that is definitely authenticity, right? You can't relate them to any other artist, even though they might be doing a similar turn pattern or a similar shine, right? We all do a Suzy Q, but sometimes it just doesn't look the same. So,
yeah. And there's multiple times where people always ask, like, for example, how does Charlie look so swaggy? Charlie loves hip hop dancing, and he's been doing it since he was a kid. So it's like, it just goes to show, like, one thing is going to impact your dancing so much. And so that's why you should be looking to be versatile, take different classes. We're not going to sit here and try to be a professional ballet dancer at this point. But, when we start doing our salsa romantica, our lines and technique need to be on point, so we are going to have to, like, dive into that world even more for that time, to be, into that experience, right? But for sure, just look for your lessons everywhere. And that's why Charlie's saying, like, have an open mind, because taking a bunch of Suzy Q classes aren't gonna cut it.
It's also interesting how, I'm also a versatile dancer. I come from ballet, and salsa was just something that I started working in. But definitely the dance technique comes from, we don't have a system in salsa that will train your body to prepare generally for dance. And then it's great on one hand because it's a very accessible dance to people who are professionals in other areas, right? And they come in the afternoon to have fun. But then when you want to get to a higher level, you need certain, strong legs, core, maybe, right? A body control. And how do you teach that in a way that's fun, that's entertaining? That's not really entertaining, like when you're practicing your feet at the bar in a ballet class forever, right? That's so I guess this is why you have your teams, right? This is probably when you go harder on them.
Yeah, and even myself, because all the things that you just mentioned, I feel the same thing. I'm like, oh wow, like I wasn't really prepared to do a trick, or I wasn't really prepared to do a jump or something like that. And mobility is really important for any dancer, right? You want to be very mobile. So I myself, I'm doing a real deep dive into mobility, and I'm trying to learn how to be mobile and do all these things. And of course, I'm going to add that to, what we do, and to our schedule is going to be like a body mechanics class. I don't know if it'll be fun, but it'll be for preparing you to be able to go from that, amateur level to that pro level, because you're right. You need that preparation. It's not just steps.
Someone's fit, yeah. Yes, this live will be saved. You can access it later. Going to classes of
That's one of our goals for our company. You know, like if you're part of us, we want to give you the best of the best. So really, for like our future plans, not that it's planned per se, but you know, it's brainstormed.
Vision.
Exactly, the visions are there. You know, is to give a really, you know, well-rounded menu per se for our dancers, because you really do need everything, especially if you're trying to go to the next level. You know, social dancing is one thing, but when you're trying to take it to the next level and be on the stage, and you know, even the creative process, you can ask my lady specifically. I actually asked them, you know, why do you think I choreographed it this way, just so that their brains can start working that way. If you want to be a choreographer one day, you know, like we're not all meant to be choreographers, but it's just another aspect of, if you're in this room, that's what's going on. So you might as well take advantage of it and try to soak in as much as we can give you. So I'm always trying to give the best of everything, you know, dabble in everything, let your brain kind of just simmer there and like think about these things, because who knows? I know my dancers, and I know some of them will go that route and some of them won't, but everyone's gonna, you know, benefit from this, you know, question per se.
So Charlie, would you say that you're an introvert?
I would say I'm naturally I'm an extrovert, but I have become introverted. So a little bit of both.
Okay. And Brianna, you're more on the extroverted side?
Yeah, I'm an extrovert, but I have a limit sometimes.
So how do you recharge? Because this work, you know, in this industry, it's a lot of giving energy, you know, preparing classes, giving inspiration, performing. How do you recharge? When is it enough for you?
Studying. I recharge by studying.
Okay.
I just recharge by relaxing, you know, being by myself, relaxing a bit. And then it's funny, I say being by myself, but yet I'm still talking and chatting like on our group chats with our teams, with Charlie. It's like it never stops, it's always going, but at least like the physical presence of like energy being given is at a rest.
What are your favorite Netflix shows? What are you watching?
I watch anime, but that's not really Netflix. But yeah.
And
The
Brianna, you?
I don't really have time for TV. I'm always on my phone, honestly. Like I'm always chatting and scrolling and looking for inspiration, visions, and all this stuff. But the last thing I did binge, which was around New Year's, I think. Yeah, New Year's Eve, was Wednesday on Netflix.
Okay.
That was cool.
Okay. Haven't seen that one yet.
It was cute.
Okay, guys, we're gonna wrap up. Is there anything you'd like to add? Any message? Anything you'd like to share with the world?
Somos Candela.
Yeah, so far, thank you so much for all the support that we've received, because like I said, we are a new partnership, even though we've been at this forever, together but separately. It's been really inspiring for us to just know that we can get the ball rolling so fast and continue it, because we're really excited for, you know, where we'll be in 5 years.
Oh, it's one last comment. After attending many socials, I've noticed many dancers don't know how to differentiate performance and social dancing. That happens.
Yeah.
That means get to class with Somos Candela Social Dance Clinic.
Yeah, that's what we call ourselves, the Social Dance Clinic. We're creating a syllabus that's just for your social dancing, not for routines or memorization. Because I know, like, when I was learning, it was all about, hey, learn 150 steps, learn 300 steps. So if I could leave you with something, you only really need about 10 to 13, and you need to learn how to do those 10 to 13 steps in 300 different ways, right? You don't need to learn 150,000 moves. So.
Can you say that at elSol and like teach people some of those?
Oh yeah, of course. I'll give you a bunch of left turns with different arms. You'll be like super impressed, you know.
Okay. And the name of the class will be?
We can call it Social Dance Clinic. I like that.
Social Dance Clinic. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that. I have to take a note.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it gonna be for advanced or intermediate dancers?
I would say that's very fundamental. So it's open to all levels. It's not. I wouldn't say it's advanced, but you know, it's just a concept. It's a different way to think. You know, it's a different way to approach your social dancing technique.
Yeah,
right?
I totally get the concept, but when you have a mixed crowd, then it's you want to attract advanced dancers who are going to go back to their basics, or you want to attract the dancer who still they will not understand why this is special, right? So
we try to attract them all. So at least here, that's how we do it. We try to, the room is open to advanced dancers and to beginner dancers, because we don't want to create that. We don't want to create that segregation where advanced dancers feel like, oh, I'm too advanced to dance with a beginner dancer. I think that that's actually the true test. If you can lead a beginner dancer to do all of your cool turn patterns, then you really truly are a master at your craft. And that's what we want to promote, that, you should be out there asking those beginners to dance. Also, when we create our social will revolve around that. We want to have the taxi dancer system where we make sure that, these professional dancers or advanced dancers are actually asking the beginners, and no one is sitting down and having a bad time, because, that's not, the social is not about showing off and doing a show like the comment that the person made earlier. It's about connecting, and that's it. You know what I'm saying?
It's what they do in Kizomba, the taxi dancers concept. When I organize Kizomba festivals, I have to employ a bunch of dancers who are going to take care of the floor.
Yeah, it's super important. Like the socials are missing that. Hopefully none of the socials in New York are looking at this and try to do it before me. But yeah, that's the goal. At least my social will have me and Bree, right? So
well, you have to be fast now.
Yeah.
Execute.
True,
Everyone
true,
can
true,
have a vision,
True.
Oh, okay, guys. Thank you so much for giving us this hour of your time. And we're having an evening here. You probably still have a day ahead of you.
Yeah.
So have a great day, and thank you to all the community for listening to us. Come and join us at elSol Spring Edition, 10 to 12 of March, and elSol Fall Edition in Katowice, 9 to 12 of November. Easy to remember. And Charlie and Brianna are going to be at both.
Yeah. We can't wait. Yeah. Save us a dance in the Cuban room.
That's a good one. Okay, goodbye, guys.
Having us.
Bye. Thank you.
Okay. Now we can. Yes. Now we're